Hey there YouTube, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today, shooting this on the 12th of January 2021, and I can't believe we're already 12 days into the year. It seems it was just like Thanksgiving and then the Christmas time is just like blazing by. That's what happens when you start getting older. That's what old people used to tell me when I was young and I didn't listen. But anyhow, today, the title of today's video is no-fail method for a raw food diet. Stop struggling. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you can come back and check out some more of my content. I just realized, because I'd always do a little sound check in here, I just felt like doing it in a different room, and the acoustics are a little bit different in here because I don't have much in this room anymore, so it kind of has a hollow, slight echoey thing to it, but I don't think it's all that big of a deal, but I don't know, just little things like that, I could hear it. Anyhow, what is the no-fail method for a raw food diet? Actually, this is pretty much a no-fail method for life. You can apply it to a raw food diet, you can apply it to a cooked vegan diet, you can apply it to a lot of different areas in life. And it's a skill they don't teach in school, and it's a skill that a lot of people just don't have in life, and that's called problem solving. Problem solving. That's basically life 101. Everything in life is about problem solving. You know, you go out, let's just make it real simple. You go out this afternoon and you get a flat tire. What do? You don't sit around and like, oh my God, I wish I didn't have a flat tire. I don't want to have a flat tire. Why do I get flat tires? You pop your trunk open, you get your jack out, you jack up the car and you change your tire. Problem solving. Problem solving 101. And that's what people are not doing on this raw food diet. I hear all the time, and it's like, okay, just the statement that somebody makes doesn't make sense. I always have problems with this. Think about that. Now break that down. Let's take a step back and slow it down a little bit. I always have problems with this. Well, right there, you've identified a problem, you know what your problem is, and you're not doing anything about it. So it's like if you know something happens a certain time every day, you do something to, fix that. Either you're not there at that place, or you take measures to get the result that you want. For instance, people are always saying, ooh, my trouble time is mid-morning. I always have problems on this lifestyle at mid-morning. Well, if you know that, if you've had problems at mid-morning 3, 4, 8, 10 times, then you're like, okay, I have problems at mid-morning. You get out ahead of that. The way to solve the problem is you have a snack ready for mid-morning. Same thing for mid-afternoon. Another one that people talk about all the time is I'm always hungry on this lifestyle. I don't eat enough. I didn't eat enough. And that's because you're still stuck in that diet mentality, and you're stuck in that restricting mentality. Oh, I can't. Listen, you watch videos, you see people in other groups, you see people eating all this fruit, this large amount of plant-based food that's necessary because it's a lot less calorically dense than what we're coming from on a standard American diet. But even though you see this, your head just can't process that. I think people think I'm probably lying because they just can't imagine that I can consume the amount of food I do and still be kind of barely keeping my weight, or actually having to work at it to gain weight. But it's about the things I'm eating. And that's what people have to trust. You have to trust that you have to eat. You cannot be afraid to eat on this diet because it comes back to bite you later. That's what always happens. Well, the reason you're hungry at mid-morning, I'm not ever hungry because I plan ahead. Like at mid-morning, you didn't eat enough breakfast. So you have 1 or 2 options there. It's not even just take a snack for mid-morning. Okay, maybe if you don't have maybe there's something that you can't eat mid-morning, maybe something's going on, maybe your work, maybe you're in school, whatever. Okay, then another alternative to that was, if you always get hungry mid-morning, you always have a problem, you go to the vending, eat more breakfast, eat a bigger breakfast. That's what holds so many people back on this lifestyle. I get people that write me on Instagram constantly, and they're afraid. They're afraid of the amount of fruit that I eat. They see me make a smoothie. I made a smoothie in my Instagram stories yesterday that probably had 10 or 11 bananas in there, had chia seeds in there, had other stuff in there. We're probably talking a 12 or 1300 calorie smoothie. And this scares other people to death, but there's a balancing act. You know, because I do this at a fairly, I don't know where I fit into on the low to like where I am as far as low fat, but I'm on the lower end. I don't eat high fat. So what I've always said, the cleaner you eat, the more you can eat. And the cleaner you eat actually fills you up. You know, you can eat a whole bunch of junk, but it's not filling you up. Or you can eat a whole bunch of this fake stuff and it's not filling you up. But when listen, my average day, you guys watch my what I eat in a day videos. Like, I think the last video I did, I probably had a huge ice cream, I had a huge smoothie, and I had a huge salad with potatoes in there. So I'm eating lots of food. It's just the types of food I'm eating. But yeah, it's all about problem solving. Every single issue you have, everything you've ever asked me before, well, this doesn't work. We'll find out a solution for it. Well, I don't like bananas. Okay, what do you like? What kind of fruit do you like? Oh, I can't eat this. Oh, it does this and this to me. Find the things that you can eat. And sorry about that. I keep forgetting I'm not used to having heat on during the day, but it's been a little bit chilly lately. My heat just came on. That just kind of wonks out the sound a little bit more too. But what I was going to say is, and that's where I just like to have a visual in my hand. I'm working on journals today. This is not a journal here, but a food journal, but I am working on a food journal. This is actually a blank recipe book that I made. But the only reason I like things in my hand. I like aids, visual aids when I'm talking about stuff. But okay, this would be about the size of a food journal would be. So what you're doing is you go in, I've talked about this before. I've talked about this 1,000 times before. Troubleshoot, problem solving. People don't want to hear that. People want to be spoon-fed. That's why everybody keeps talking, do you have a program? Do you have this? Do you have that? Everybody wants to be led around by the nose and have exactly what to do. At 7:27 a.m. you will drink your 32 ounces of water, and then at 7:38 you will eat this amount, these many grams, this and that. No, it's not about that. You can do it on your own. So here's your food. Pretend this is your food journal. Every single day you write down everything that you put in your mouth. Write down the amounts. Write down everything. Maybe even write down things like time. Like, what time did I have this? And you go back in, and if things aren't working for you, boom, it's there in black and white. Problem solving. Two words. You go in there and you go, okay, well, I ate this. Why did I eat this? Why did I eat this at 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning? And if that's not something that you wanted to do, it's not my judgment, it's like something you don't want, you go in there and you say, okay, how can I prevent that happening again? Maybe I need to eat more for breakfast. Maybe I need to have a snack at 10:30. Maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to do that. And then you can also figure out some of the subtleties of this too. Maybe you're looking through there and you're like, okay, I'm staying raw, but I'm just not getting the results. I'm not losing weight, or, my skin's not clearing up, this and that. Maybe you go in and you're like, okay, well, there it is. You've got too much fat in there. That happens with people a lot. And I think if you write everything down, you'll be able to figure out. And if you can't figure it out, you can ask somebody, and you've got you can ask them intelligently, because you have things to ask them. Somebody might look at your food journal and go, oh my God, you had this at lunch, you had this. Too much nuts. A lot of people don't realize that. I'll just get off on fat for just a second here on a side note. A lot of people don't realize how many nuts they're consuming. Sometimes I'll see a recipe of some people, and sometimes famous people, and there's a cup of cashews in that recipe, and I'm like, holy mother of God, that is a lot of fat. Now, like I say, I'm not talking about, nothing one time's going to hurt you, but when you start looking at that and people are eating out of these, I see a lot of recipe books out there. I see a lot of raw food recipes that are just full of fat, full of fat. So anyhow, enough about the particular thing of fat right there, but you can look through there and you can say, somebody might be able to say, well, that's why you're not losing any weight. You're eating too much fat, or maybe you're doing something with your combinations. You could also go in there and say, well, this is why I'm having issues with my digestion, because you're combining this, 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 and this. So what the point I'm getting at? Let's get back to two words. The whole theme of this today is problem solving. Everything that happens, you problem solve, and you look at it from that standpoint. Don't get into this emotional bullshit of, oh, I'm this and that, and emotional eating and addiction and blah, 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 blah. I'm more analytical. I'm more like, let's write it down, let's figure it out, let's solve this like a problem, let's solve it. And that's really all there is to it. And if you take that approach, you can't fail. There's no fail to that. It's absolutely bulletproof if you do that thing. But like anything, it's all about, most things in life are what you're willing to put into it, and also what you're willing to do if it's not super easy. And hey, I realize I have to think outside myself and within a lot of things, because this lifestyle's been super easy for me. I'm not going to lie to you about it, or I'm not going to try to relate with you and tell you, oh, I understand the struggle. I don't do things perfectly. I've learned a lot along the way. The way that I eat has evolved in the 8.5 years I've done this. It's evolved in the last 3 or 4 years that I've done this, but never really struggled with it. Never really struggled with it. I found a way of, like I say, I'll finish off with this that I've repeated myself a million times. As soon as I found something where I could eat all the time and never be hungry, and that worked, I was like, okay, sign me up. I'm there for life. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If y'all like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you here in a couple of days. Peace.